That's what's going on here. If she had covering.
Yeah.
That smacks of something. I mean, it's good.
It's good.
You got it over with.
They got a recovery there, 15, 16. That's amazing. That's unusual.
Well, the better is that they got strung out at 14.
Yeah.
What were you getting into?
Acid, heroin.
And she too?
No, she wasn't as bad, actually.
Right, but she's still sober.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe you need a little distance. What does your sponsor say?
He says, I loved her. I really did, and I think I interpreted the friendship more. So, this could be a good thing, and I could be, I think I'm supposed to realize that I just really like her as a good friend.
What did your sponsor say?
Well, he said that it could be a good thing.
Okay.
But how come you haven't been contacting her?
Well, it's really awkward when we talk now. It's really quiet.
So you're not really that into her. I mean, as a girlfriend. You would have called her more than twice in the last month.
Well, yeah, it's hard because, we both like each other, but we really want to stay friends because, I mean, it's...
All right, sounds mutual then. It's very rare, but it sounds like neither one of them is really dying for each other.
But here's what I think is going on, is they both have been in intrusive or traumatic situations. That's why they got off into the drugs at such young ages. And they've had their boundaries cleared up, and they've been working hard in their recovery, and they've had good success in their recovery. And here's something that really sets everything kind of reeling. All their boundaries are all set off, and the trust and the relationship that they've built all these years is now threatened. And it's painful. It's painful to lose that relationship. It's painful and scary to think of taking more risks with that person.
Yeah,
and she needs. You got to make sure she has a sponsor. I bet she doesn't even have a sponsor right now because it sounds like she needs somebody to rely upon. That's why he sounds so together right now. Is because he is, and he can deal with it or not. But she's kind of reeling out.
Yeah, but
there.
why wouldn't? If she was reeling, why wouldn't she call him?
Because I don't think she has a sponsor. I think she's just running scared right now. Ask him if I'm right.
Where was he?
2.
Yeah. Jason?
You're totally right.
Yeah,
true.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I think that's what's going on here. If she had some stability in her recovery, I was going to say.
I'm a little gassy tonight. Oh yeah.
If she had some stability in her recovery, things wouldn't be so sketchy.
I had my.
So you get her back into her recovery, get her a sponsor, make her work, and then I bet you'll regain the friendship and maybe even have a relationship to follow.
I ate my secret weapon tonight: fruit and fiber.
Oh, for Christ's
sake! The 2 F's. I'm telling you. You take yourself some fibery type of breakfast cereal. You put those golden raisins on top of it. You sprinkle some wheat germ in there. You put a little milk in there in case you're, that's good if you're a little lactose intolerant. And then you wash it down with a cup of coffee and just let the party begin. I'm percolating. All right, it is Loveline. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew.
You're no longer percolating. You're like spouting.
Yeah, it's not really
after percolating.
Yeah, but it's weak tonight because I ate it at least an hour ago. Nothing's going on.
Producing. What do you mean nothing's going on?
Well, 2 farts in what? How's it been? 4 minutes? That's not much.
Somebody needs to experience it. That's just 2 farts. Somebody needs to come into this room and see
really?
what this is.
Well, there was one before you came in, I got to be honest. All right, so, hey, is that you, Drew?
What?
Was that the chair?
Yeah, the chair.
Okay.
I'm not getting into the festivities
here. Did you catch any Hollywood Squares tonight?
Yeah, my wife made me watch the first 5 minutes.
They did? We weren't called on, though.
Not.
I don't...
But we had the retarded, introduction.
Oh, we did? I don't remember that.
Well, I don't either, but there we were.
Drew and I did Hollywood Squares. I think we're on all this week. But I swear to God, out of the 5 shows we did, I think we only got asked like a question and a half or something because they buried us in these squares that don't get picked.
This one we were in the lower right corner, is when I saw him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's one where they might pick you.
Yeah, I think we got picked a couple times.
We're too big for those squares.
There's only 9 squares, right?
Yeah, but there are 2 that are never picked.
There's 2, sometimes 4 that aren't picked, Mike. People think that you can only play tic-tac-toe diagonally.
It's the truth. They start in the middle.
Okay, don't spray that around. I got a coffee here. Come on. And selling me out. Good. Spray right in your coffee, you jackass. Look at it all raining down in your coffee. There you go.
It smells a lot better.
Well, yeah, it smells like fart and potpourri now. Now, here's the problem with Hollywood Squares. And maybe it's not a problem. Maybe that's how they planned it. People play diagonally. So if you're in a middle square, not on a corner, or not in the middle, obviously, a center square, I should say.
If you're in a side middle.
If you're side middle, you're screwed, or upper bottom middle, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because people don't know. Maybe it's some sort of religious thing. They don't want to make the crucifix, but they always start on the upper left-hand corner and they go down.
They always stop with whoopee, and then they go to the corners.
Right.
Every single game we played.
Every single game.
We did 10 games.
So if you're not on a corner, you'll just sit there the entire game.
And if somebody starts, if they start other than with whoopee, they start in a corner and then go to whoopee.
Right. I think they must get them to do that. Anyway, Drew and I just look like a couple idiots sitting in that square together. Then didn't we?
Yeah.
We're too big for that square. I watched 10 seconds of it, and I just realized we both look like bozos, and I switched it to Monday Night Football. I never. It's uncomfortable watching myself.
No, especially squeezed into a little.
Charles, you're 24.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yes, sir.
What exactly is a hysterectomy?
It is the surgical removal of the uterus.
Mm-hmm. What is the long-term effects of having that done?
None.
None?
Why?
Well, my boss's wife is going in this week to have it done. And I'm kind of wondering why.
They remove for typically cancer. Cancer or uncontrolled bleeding or fibroids that they can't take out any other way. And fibroids can break down and become cancerous. Yeah, it's something that you have to do. You don't take uteruses out just for sport.
Well, what about having kids? Does it affect anything?
Yeah.
Well, that's a long-term effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to mention that when he says, what's the long-term effect? You say nothing?
Well, I think that was self-evident. That's like saying if you cut off both legs, you have trouble walking.
No, but you could have a hysterectomy and still manage a way to have kids, couldn't you? Done in some sort of
if you left,
surgical way?
No. If you left the ovaries behind or harvested the eggs and froze them, you could put them into somebody else and have a surrogate parent.
Mm-hmm. Now,
but oftentimes they remove the ovaries because there's some evidence, I don't want to freak everybody out, but there's some evidence that leaving the ovaries behind may increase the risk of ovarian cancer. Now, that's very controversial.
Charles.
Yes?
You didn't know you needed a uterus to have kids, did you?
Yes.
Wise ass. Where are you working?
I work at the school that I am attending.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Junior college?
No, university.
Really? What are you, American Indian or something? How'd they let you in?
Thanks.
No, he was laughing at his own...
I'm laughing at my own gas.
Excrements.
Hey, it's going to be a long night for you, Drew.
Yes, it is. I got the Glade right here, though.
Charles? It's state school, right?
Right.
All right. And what do you do at school?
You're learning the differences amongst all these schools.
Yeah.
What?
What do you do at the school?
I'm a lab supervisor.
What are they working on, monkeys?
No, it's video production.
No.
Video lab.
They're filming monkeys? No. All right. Charles, don't worry about it. Your boss's wife will be fine.
How old is she?
Late 40s, early 50s.
All right.
She's not going to have any more kids, right?
No.
That's all right.
That's when that operation
should be okay.
Yeah.
You know, I made, I think, like 3 or 4 stabs at junior college over the years, and one class I decided to retake later on in life was biology.
Oh, boy.
I went to one lab. That was it. Walked around like an idiot for 10 minutes in circles. People like getting... Every time I go to school, it's like some sort of, Alan Funt escapade. It's like, the hell show is that I'm trying to think of?
Candid Camera?
Yes, it's some sort of Candid Camera thing where everyone's in on the joke but me. We go to the lab. I'm walking in a circle, sort of lost. Everyone else seems to know what they're doing. They're getting papers. They're filling things out. They're getting the tools they need. They're checking out slides. I got a little petri dish over here. And I just keep walking in circles. Eventually, I just leave. I get dizzy and have to leave.
What you screen out is when you left the class that day, they tell you to read the lab for the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you just ignore
Listen,
it.
I do. I don't sit and read about it.
Yes,
you understand? I'm a mover and a shaker.
I know that.
Sarah.
Yes.
You're 20.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, it's like, I was adopted at age 8, and I don't remember anything from my former, my first 8 years of life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something horrible must have happened to you.
And,
what was happening, do you think?
I was given away at birth by my biological mother to my aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until, I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I have, a really, really bad temper, when it comes to just...
All right, hold on a second. you never knew your biological parents.
I knew her. Yeah, I've seen her before, but I'll never see her again because of what she did to me. Like when I went back to visit her.
What'd she do?
I told her I had agreed with her to see her if she didn't bring my aunt and uncle, because my aunt and uncle's the one that gave me up for adoption.
When you were 8.
Yeah, and
that you thought they were your parents.
Yeah.
And even when they gave you away, you thought that's your parents giving you away.
Yeah.
Oh, who'd they give you away to?
My sister's best friend's mom.
How were they? How was she?
How is she now?
And how was she as somebody to raise you?
Pretty good.
Okay. And you don't remember your aunt and uncle or what happened when you were being raised by them?
I mean, I can remember things like being like a Cinderella kind of figure. You know, I mean, I can always remember like doing dishes. I mean, that kind of thing. Like I can remember. Well, I remember the time when I got 25 stitches, but just I mean, nothing like important like being there. I mean, you know, like walking to school. I can remember like certain instances, but not really like.
All right. Do you think they did anything to you?
I don't know. I mean, I remember being there when they would like do pot, you know, and that kind of thing. Which,
so when you say you have a bad temper, what do you do?
Well, I have a 7-year-old brother. But I mean, it's getting easier as he gets older. But I'm scared for like when I have kids, because when he was, I mean, there was times where I'd hit him, but it was like I'd try to cover up for myself, you know, like, oh mom, you know, he's just a wimp, you know, he can't, you know, I was just playing with him, you know, or because I babysat him a lot, and, you know, a lot, and you know, and now. Is
this the same biological mother that had you, that had the 7-year-old?
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to have kids, and bada boom, bada bang.
She had a 7-year-old. How did that child end up with you?
Who was your babysitter?
I babysit a lot.
So you went back to your biological mother?
No. This is my adoptive parents.
Your adoptive parents had another child.
Yeah. And there was a little bit of physical abuse, you know, after I got adopted.
But.
And I mean, and you know, my father was an alcoholic, but I mean, I don't see how that could be, you know.
Well, Sarah, these are all things that certainly impact on your ability to contain your feelings, certainly fuel rage, and make it difficult to empathize for other people. I mean, there's a newer term.
See, but it's weird because I mean, when anybody has a problem or something, I mean, I am like there in a heartbeat to help.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like.
But except when they really trigger feelings in you, then I'm sure that the person's feelings melt away. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are things, there's sort of features of something that's now been called an attachment disorder, I think, where kids just act out violently and they can't empathize for the people they're acting out against.
Yeah, I think everyone has that now. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Where are you living now?
In Texas, and I just moved from Virginia Beach.
Who are you living with now?
Well, I live by myself, but
okay,
it's like right across the road from my parents.
Yeah. Are you taking care of yourself?
What do you mean?
I understand when she says my parents, 3 different sets of people come to mind for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picture like the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Yeah.
See, it's really hard.
Hey, Sarah, are you taking care of yourself?
What, like in what, like?
Yeah, well, support yourself and.
Well, yeah, I pay rent and that kind of
not doing drugs. You're working.
No, I do not do drugs.
You're working.
Yeah, I work full time and go to school full time.
All right.
Really?
All right. That's huge.
How do you do that?
Huge.
What's your schedule like?
No life. And I mean, that's...
Good.
I mean, that's
all right, you're fine.
No, be careful, because that's the kind of house of cards that can collapse on you. Make sure you pay attention to your mental health. Maybe get some counseling while you're doing all this work and schooling, because eventually this house of cards comes down. There's so much S here in your life that needs to be sorted out, and so many amazing feelings that somewhere you need to develop a trusting relationship where you can unload some of your feelings.
When is this society going to get the connection between parenting and children and what they become once they're adults?
As God is my witness, that is a question that's been asked by mental health professionals for 100 years. We've known it for 100 years.
Why don't we make that direct correlation? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Why do the show?
I thought it was for the bucks and the chicks.
No.
Would you expect anything less? I mean, listen, here's the deal. If somebody's been abused, there's alcoholism, there's neglect.
She's an individual. She can just pick up, go on. It's a free country. She can do as she wishes.
Hey, it's
our word.
Right.
Go for it.
All right. It's like someone has a compound fracture, tell them to run it off.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, shake it off. Don't pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Same deal.
Come on now. Let's go now. You know the difference between right and wrong.
And actually, the person running on the compound, a person's more likely to run on a compound fracture. than to get it together after this kind of life.
Listen, if someone comes from this...
I mean, with no treatment.
If someone comes from abuse and alcoholism and neglect and 5 different families and all that, frankly, we're shocked to hear that they're not in prison, don't have 5 kids, and actually hold a job down. I mean, we're amazed.
Delighted. Not amazed, delighted.
I'm also amazed. I'm delighted. Amited. I have to make some sort of amalgamation word there. Ann.
Yeah.
You're 42.
Yeah.
What's going on? Uh-oh.
Everything and nothing. I can't even say I had a drug problem a few years back. It's current now. Not like it was, however. I was strung out on heroin about 15 years ago. Went to prison, did that, got out of prison, got my life together, got married.
You got into recovery?
I was on methadone for 15 years.
That's not recovery. That's methadone, and that's another house of cards.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. I watched one of those Hollywood True Stories tonight for about 5 minutes with Mackenzie Phillips.
Yeah, I was watching that too.
Yeah, and she was talking about how she, in and out of she was recovered. She dried out, and now that she is in recovery, she looks back and she said I think a totally accurate thing, which was, you can dry out as much as you want, but until you get meaningfully involved in recovery, you will always, there are very few things you can say always about in the biological systems, but this, you will always relapse.
I'll tell you, after watching a few episodes of One Day at a Time, I slipped into heroin abuse. I was only 9.
That was just coma.
I just want to kill myself.
You went straight into coma.
You got to admit, it was funny when Schneider, the superintendent, would show up at the house at like 3:30 in the morning wearing the bathrobe with the tool bags around the bathrobe. You see?
You know what's weird?
That's funny.
The redhead with the woman.
Ms. Romano.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Here, let me do a quick reenactment of One Day at a Time. Mom, I want a car like everyone else in school. Barb, we don't have the money. Okay, now, episode number 2. Barb, we can't afford that. We don't have the money. I'm a single woman. Here's the episode that ran every 5 minutes. Ann Romano gets a raise, but it turns out it's at a cost. And her boss, the boss, who's a man, because anyone who's above anybody, especially a woman, is the man in the 70s. And she brought the whole Ms. thing in. It's Ms. It's not Miss. It's not Mrs. It's Ms. Romano. The boss is going to give her a raise, but at what cost? That's right. He wants a little hanky-panky on the side. So, all that new stuff they bought, all the fur coats, all the stuff, it's got to go home because
sounds like a Flintstone.
She told him what to do with his job. She told him to shove it. Got a lot of pride. All right. Drew, stop blowing on me, would you?
Sorry. You're paranoid.
Ann? Okay.
All right.
I'm locked in this room breathing your excrement.
Drew's a doctor, and he sneezes with his arms out at his side. We're driving in a limousine 3 or 4 days ago. He has both arms spread out over the big bench seat. I mean, spread out like Jesus hanging from the cross, and he just blows this huge sneeze out. And I looked at him, and I said, for Christ's sake, you're a doctor. Put your hand in front of your mouth.
You guys are too much.
All right, Ann. So now we got what going on? What drug? What opiate, I should say?
I'm taking Tylenol number 4.
Okay, so that's codeine, and that's an opiate.
Yep.
How many a day are you taking?
Maybe 20.
Where do you get those?
Where?
She writes scripts for them, I'm sure.
No.
You don't steal them?
No. I have, I met a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, and
they write scripts for them.
What do you buy over the counter? Tylenol number 1, basically?
Yeah, it's just Tylenol. Tylenol number 3 is Tylenol codeine. Tylenol number 4 is a triplicate controlled drug that has a higher dose of opiate.
So it's real hard to get?
It's really very controlled.
What's it make you feel like?
It doesn't really make me feel like anything anymore.
Well, let me predict how it makes you feel when you get into it. It makes you feel okay.
Well, yeah.
It makes you feel okay. All that background noise and pain and whatever it is you're not coping with suddenly feels okay. And that's how most opiate addicts describe their drug. It's just that they can function. They feel okay again. They can function. They're okay.
Yeah, but it's not okay anymore.
Well, of course not okay, because did you say you're a nurse?
Yeah.
Are you working?
No, I'm not.
Hey, speaking of background noise, you can turn the TV set down?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. What are you watching there?
Gia.
Oh, Gia.
What's that?
It's on
I think it was
HBO.
a Showtime or HBO special. She was a model, died.
Yeah. Of heroin.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, she died of AIDS, really.
Well, yeah.
She got AIDS through using the needle.
Here's the deal, Ann, and for nurses especially, and for physicians as well, there is only one way to maintain abstinence. And I've treated a ton of healthcare professionals. Diversion. You have to go to diversion. I know it's a big pill to swallow, and nursing diversion is quite rigorous.
What do you do in nursing diversion?
It's a program. It's a program run by professionals, by nurses for nurses, or physicians for physicians. The physician one is very supportive and clement, and I tell you, all I can tell you is that nurses and physicians that go into diversion do great.
Why are they called diversion?
And ones that don't do terrible.
They just call it rehab.
It's different. I think it was originally, I don't know this, but I always thought it was to divert away from a punitive course towards loss of license. You divert off that into a diversionary program.
Well, they want to call it something. You don't want to hear about doctors and nurses coming out of rehab.
Well, they
call it diversion.
I'll tell you something. Diversion usually requires quite an extensive amount of rehab as well. But they monitor it all and they require it all. And as you complete this stuff, they keep you out of trouble, basically.
Well, how does she get into diversion?
Call nursing to call whatever state you're in. Call the nursing diversion. Call the state board of licensing for nursing and ask for diversion. That's it.
Which doctors are strung out the most?
Psychiatrist, anesthesiologist.
Oh, really? Well, anesthesiologist. These one for me, one for you.
Family practitioners.
Really, in that order?
No. There's just sort of a group. The ER gets pretty good.
I know those chiropractors are into the weed. They just sit around and eat mushrooms, smoke weed, and stare at their finger. They probably crack their knuckles when they're stoned. And I know the dentists, they're not into anything because I don't think they're not really doctors, are they?
They have a lot of addiction.
Really? It must be what they're doing. They're all high.
I've treated a bunch of dentists. That's a hard group to treat because the diversion that I've dealt with hasn't been as intense.
The dentists are just doctors that flunked out of med school, right?
No. I could never go to dentist school. Yeah, I couldn't do it with my hands and even something. Can you imagine not doing that stuff with your hands?
Listen, I bet a jeweler would be a better dentist than 90% of the dentists out there. You know what I'm saying? Those quacks.
Oh, please.
All right, they don't know anything, those dentists. Please. We'll have one significant breakthrough in dentistry in the last 65 years. Tell me what it is. And don't any of you idiots call in and talk about laser this and laser that, and it doesn't exist. I mean, it does, it does in theory, it does on paper. Maybe the president gets it, but not you or I. And that's not a breakthrough if the common man can't use it. Right, Drew? All right. We'll be back. Hey, Loveline.
Email, earthlink.com. Loveline. Earthlink.net, excuse me. I can never say that.
You don't even know that. Matt.
Yeah.
You're 17.
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
Nothing.
Well, first of all, I'm gay. I've been in a friendship for about 2 years with this guy, and I just recently got back about 2 months ago I moved out of town for about 8 months. I've been messing around with him for the 2 months that I've been back, and it seems like every time we're together, it progresses to the next level, and then I'm always let down because it's not going anywhere. And this is the kind of guy who, he lost his father, and he was really, really attached to him when he was younger, and I don't think he's even expressed or even gotten over that yet.
Right.
So he's 16. And a lot of his emotional, I guess, he pretty much attaches himself to non-fictional things such as comics and video games and all these things, which I'm not into at all, and he doesn't...
No. Gay guys aren't into comics or videos.
Oh, no.
Do you think he may not be gay. I don't think he's gay.
You think he's really gay?
Yeah. I know him pretty much in and out, and yes.
He's actually gay.
Yeah, he is gay.
I don't know. Videos?
Video game?
What kind of videos? The one where, some little frog hops on mushrooms, or ones where they blow up stuff?
No, what is it? A Nintendo or
Yeah, but are they blowing things up?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, and they're not playing any sports, right?
No, not at all.
Well, maybe.
He's the only guy that I've been attracted, because I've always gone out with people way older than I am, and that I was always a submissive one. And this is the only relationship that I still want to be into, just because we've been friends, we know each other, and it's just not going anywhere. I'm so let down every time.
Why do you keep banging your head against the wall?
I have
everything we say has got to become the double entendre.
I know.
Yeah, you know the guy in and out. You're banging your head.
Seriously, it's like I have no idea. I'm very attracted to him, and it's just not happening.
Mm-hmm.
The unavailable guy.
Where's Nintendo? What's his favorite TV show?
Oh God, I think he watches MTV. I have no interest in television.
Matt, what do you watch?
Excuse me?
What do you watch on TV?
What do I watch? Oh, I don't even watch TV. I'm not home enough.
Good boy.
Yeah, you know. But I don't...
Right, how did you get gay?
How did I... Oh, just like woke up one morning.
Well, what happened?
Do you mean?
Anybody do anything to you?
I was... Yeah, well, I mean, I was molested younger. I was, like, abused by my...
Well, all right, all you people that are outraged when I said, how did you get gay, put the phone down.
Seriously, it's true. Everyone I know has been molested.
That's great.
That's our experience, too, and whom we talk to, anyway.
But, I mean, I don't know why I don't know why I'm attracted to it if it's not going anywhere.
Well, listen, it's not beyond a 17-year-old male, female, heterosexual, lesbian, whatever, to be attracted to people that don't reciprocate their love. I mean, unrequited love is what high school is about. And true, that never slowed me down. Listen, if I never pursued people that weren't attracted to me, I wouldn't have anyone to pursue, especially in high school. The only chick who liked me in high school was Stacy Mallon, but her dad... I don't know his first name, but his name, Mr. Mallon, taught plastics over in Walter Reed Junior High, and the guy was such a ogre. He was such a despicable man, as were all the people that taught any kind of shop at Walter Reed Junior High.
We found out it's not called shop anymore.
Yeah.
It's called technology or something?
Yeah. Listen, it's shop. You're a bunch of old fat idiots with big hairy forearms, and if I see you now, I'm going to kick your saggy ass. But anyway, he was such a despicable prick that I would never see his daughter, because every time I saw Stacy Mallon, I thought of her dad, and I thought, Jesus, what if we go on a date and I end up back at the house and I have to talk about plastic for 45 minutes with that big putz? Jackass. All you shop teachers. Anyway, Matt?
Yeah.
At least from Walter Reed. And the gym coaches, too. Let's see, what was your question? Yeah. All right, move on.
Yeah.
He's not into you. That's it.
Yeah.
It's
if you can't do that, then there's a problem. And you know you've been abused, and there's some history here that you need to sort through in some fashion. It's going to be no surprise that you'd acted out in your relationships. If you can't contain this, all right, look into it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, you know, Mr. Mallon in plastic was the only time I ever really called on the services of my hippie mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In what fashion?
Well, it's a good story. I walked into, must have been like the 8th or 9th grade over at Walter Reed Junior High over in the Valley. Mr. Mallon was teaching the plastics, and you never met a guy who didn't like kids more than Mr. Mallon, except for Mr. Gage, Mr. Martin, or Mr. Mendez, or the other bevy of big loads that taught shop over there. They couldn't stand kids. They hated them. And the gym coaches were all the same. They hated them, too. Except for Mr. Nelson, who was Ricky Nelson's cousin. And Nelson, remember when we had Nelson in there?
Oh, right.
Yeah, they knew him. He was sweet as sugar.
Oh, wow.
Nice guy.
Interesting.
But anyway, everyone else hated kids. And I walked into Mr. Mallon's class, and there was a drinking fountain on the sink. It was like attached, you know, it had one of those big shop sinks, and they had a drinking fountain sort of worked into it. And he gave, his initial speech was, all right, here's the deal with the drinking fountain. No one uses it. When you come in, you sit down. When you work, you work. When it's time to clean, you clean. And when the bell rings, you leave. I don't want to see anyone using that drinking fountain. And I thought, you big fat prick. I'm 13. I know you're a jackass. Don't use the drinking fountain. So I went to my mom, and I knew I could cut to the hippie quick when I said to her.
Because the man was trying to keep you down.
No, plastics.
Oh.
It's toxic. You understand? So I said to my mom, my mom thought that if you put on like a plastic hard hat, you got brain cancer, you know, if you kept it on for more than about 10 minutes. So I said to my mom, hey, Mom, you know that plastic class I'm in? Boy, it's the resins in there give me a headache.
Oh.
She said, ooh. She sat down and wrote a note, gave it to Mrs. Tani. What the hell was her name? Anyway, one of my counselors. I remember them sort of laughing at me. Mr. Mallon, he said, I've been abusing kids for close to a quarter century, and I've never had a note. And I said, well, what are you going to do? Gives me a headache. So I got my ass right out of there. That was really, like I said, that's the one good note my folks wrote. And believe me, you kids, your folks can write you a note. You can do anything. That's how school works. I don't know if it worked that way in your junior high. If my dad would write a note that said, I got the hump like one of the other students, I'd get to do it. I'd probably hold it in the auditorium.
Don't think that way. You'll be more pissed off at your dad.
Really? What do you mean? I love him. We're hanging out today. All right. Drew?
Yeah.
Where are we? Sarah?
Hey.
You're 24.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, first of all, Adam, this is the first time I called, but a while back, like 6 months ago, you did this really, really funny bit, you and Drew, called Drew's Fantasy Answer.
Right. I remember that.
We did it again, and it was so funny.
Yeah, we never do anything again. Especially the funny stuff. Ann usually keeps charts of those things.
Whatever we did, that's the problem.
It was just really funny.
Yeah, what was, let's see. That's where I said a bunch of hypothetical stuff, and Drew just gave me the green light to do it, right?
Right, like I'm molesting my grandchildren. Excellent.
Right.
That sort of thing.
All right, let's just try a second of Drew's Fantasy Answer. All right?
Right, because people were expecting me to answer. Right, it's like going in front of Judge Judy and expecting her to be warm and cuddly.
People would call up and say, and then start arguing.
Right.
Like they'd go, I'm drinking kerosene, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel real warm inside.
Excellent. Magnificent. Spectacular.
Hey,
I'm delighted.
I smoke a kilo of weed every day. Is that cool?
Right on.
I masturbate excessively.
Adam? Oh, I mean, perfect.
Please try to separate the man from the role for just a second. I'm having sex with my dog.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Any question?
I'm doing excessively.
Any question?
I'm also performing oral sex on the dog.
Oh, I can see nothing wrong with that.
Sometimes when my kids cry, I just put them in a hefty cinch-type bag and put them in the basement until they stop.
You don't use the trash compactor?
No.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That was just a sample of Drew's Fantasy Answer. Yeah, so people call in, they expect Drew to say something, and then they start arguing with him when, of course, he tells them, no. Hey, I just got married, I have 5 kids, and I'm planning on a 6th.
Oh, geez.
Is that okay?
You want a fantasy answer?
Yeah. He's just applauding. He held a big thumbs up. All right, Sarah, so what's going on with you?
Still bad radio, though, in the fantasy answers.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, Adam, my sister just graduated dental school, and she went through hell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Total hell.
It must have been tough reading all those charts from the 30s, all that text and all those manuals from circa World War II.
She called me up in the middle of the night to tell me she had to make 3 more wax molars. Wax molars. I mean...
Right. Same way Grandma used to make them.
Yeah, well...
Listen, you tell that sister yours... You tell that sister if she invents a bib that's an inch wider, she will be considered a pioneer in the dental industry, and they'll put a plaque with her name on it.
Well, now she's serving a residency in a children's hospital.
All right, Sarah, what's the question?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really embarrassing. I pick at my body, and...
Do you pull your hair out?
No, I I can't, and it's...
What part
I do it when I'm sitting on the toilet. I do it when I'm lying in bed.
What do you pick at?
I run my hands all over my body, obsessively, and I'm just feeling for if there are little zits or lumps. Or
do you have any other kind of intrusive thoughts or obsessive?
I'm not obsessive compulsive, but I'm on antidepressants.
Okay, and what antidepressant are you on?
Paxil.
And did you have sort of obsessive compulsive features when they decided to put you on antidepressants?
No obsessive compulsive.
This is something new?
No, it's not new, but I know I've always had a fascination with popping zits since I was a kid.
Yeah, everybody. Chicks love the zits.
Well, it's true.
They do. They get boyfriends sometimes just so they can get at their backs.
This is awful. I've gotten infections.
You got what?
I got an infection once because I picked at one and it got into a cyst, and I had to get it drained and
you don't pull your hair,
antibiotics.
You don't pull your hair.
No.
Well, this is obsessive-compulsive feature. It may be a limited behavior. I mean, it can be like trichotillomania, which is where people yank on their hair until it pulls out in spots.
I pick my nose a lot. Is that something bad?
Not necessarily.
Only when I'm driving, really.
And thank you for sharing. And Paxil is not the greatest choice for those sorts of behaviors. Did you tell the doctor that was prescribing the Paxil about these particular behaviors?
Well, I went on the Paxil like 5 years ago, and it was for depression.
Well, it may be time to make a change, because things like Prozac and Luvox and other different.
I go for no Pixel.
Well, there are antidepressants that work like no Pixel.
All right, go back to your psychiatrist.
Which are very similar to Paxil and might be more useful for you.
All right, let me just say hi to Jake, and then we'll go to break. Jake. Oh, Jake and Shelley?
Yes.
You guys had a couple of hits in the late 60s, didn't you?
I know. Okay. I spoke to you last night.
We talked to you last night?
Yes, but I don't feel you ever answered my question.
All right, well, hold on. We'll not answer it in a minute. No, we got to go to break. Drew's got to air out the room a little, and we'll be back.
Well, that's what I'm telling her. I'm saying, listen, I'm actually planning maybe a career change pretty soon.
All right, then don't get married. Then our advice to her would have been, hey, lay off, because he'll be ready. Just hang in there. But when he's secure in his career development, that's when he'll get married.
No, exactly. I mean, I love her. I don't want anyone else. I've given her a ring. I'm like, I want to be faithful to you. I love you. But listen, I might change careers. These big paychecks you're used to may not be coming in soon. She also has an 8-year-old son that I've been supporting too. It's like a lot,
Hey, but Jake.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
What's that?
I'm with you.
Okay.
And God knows I'm 34. I don't want to get married either.
Right.
So, man, am I with you. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want to do.
Right.
And ultimately, right now, you don't really want to get married. Now, part of it is a career, and part of it is you don't really want to get married. Because if you were looking for excuses to get married, you'd get married.
Yeah, but guys always, even when they're ready, need to get pulled up short a little bit.
It's not the excuse. No, I mean, it's not like, I'm 31 years old, you know what I'm saying? But, I really do put in place first, like, how am I going to survive the rest of my life, you know?
I think
and that's really,
listen, when you get married, you get a tax break.
No, $300.
Yeah, right.
Hey, $300 goes a long way for most of our listeners.
That'd be great.
That's 6 months' rent.
Yeah. No, she's wearing my ring. We're together. We live together.
If she had told us your concerns, we would have stopped the discussion right there.
All right.
That's where we would have stopped.
Let me explain something to all you wacky broads out there. Your job in life is to get married. Our job is to have a job. Now, there's a biological mandate that goes on with this. I'm sorry. I know a lot of women work. I know a lot of women are career-oriented. But there's still a difference. Men, and listen, I'm not saying it's all logical. I'm not saying that a man has to be the sole provider in a family. No. I'm not saying he has to be very successful in order to get married. No. I am just saying when women grow up, they usually, as children, or certainly teenagers, talk to their friends.
Don't go down that road, because
I don't care.
But let me define it in a way that's more palatable to people, and I think you'll agree with me.
Well,
listen to this. Listen, I'm going to stop you intentionally.
Go.
That what people need to be able to do before they get married is define who they are before what they know what they want out of a marriage and the rest of their life. And for a man, who they are is extremely caught up in what they do. And if what you do is stay home with the kids, and you're comfortable with that, and that's who you are, and that's what you want to be, great. You're at that point in your life, that's where you are, that's who you are, you're ready to get married. Right. But until you know who you are, and women, as a more evolved part of the species, they are a more evolved gender, really know who they are by the time they're about 22 or so. They got to figure it out. Right. And they're ready to go on with their life. Guys,
forget about it.
Yeah, forget it.
Listen, when I was 22, I was living with 5 guys in an apartment. And I couldn't support myself.
And if it's important to you what you do as a defining element of who you are, you have to do that.
Speaking of evolved,
yes.
Man, that gas is really coming on tonight.
Mike,
let me tell you.
Do you have any matches?
Let me tell you something, Drew.
Bring them in here.
I was talking to my therapist today.
Yeah.
And I was talking about you. And I tell you, listen, here's the reason I'm scared to get married and have kids. Because when Drew and I go out on the road for 4 days... Hey, Drew, tell me next time I got these funky orange earplugs hanging around my neck.
I didn't see it. What the hell are those?
I use them for construction. It's for the power tools. But anyway, I was just scratching myself and ran into something.
On the plane.
I said to my shrink today, I'm scared to get married because Drew and I were just out on the road for 4 hellish days, and all I could think about the whole time we're on the road is getting home, dropping my pants, and sitting on my sofa and watching football. And I knew we're coming home about 3:34 in the afternoon on Sunday. We're going to have to work that night, and I was going to relish those 4 or 5 hours I had sitting in my own place. Candle's not going to work, Mike.
I want him to
No.
entertain me.
I'm not wearing underwear. I'm scared to do that, Drew. I only use denim when I
This
light
will help
fires.
the smell.
All right, I'll try it. Leave your lighter, Mike, and I'll see if I can light something up before the night's over. Thank you. So anyway, I dropped Drew's ass off at the skating rink so he could hang with his kids and his wife and their friends, and I thought to myself, man, that scares the hell out of me. 4 hard, long days on the road, coming home and going straight to the rink. Drew didn't even make it home. And I said...
That was the easy part of my day, too.
Oh, that's what I said. Okay.
Hey, the deal is, though, Adam,
yeah.
Here's the piece you're missing is that it's not work when it's your family. It's just automatic.
Yeah.
You don't. That's what you want to do.
I understand that. Susan's a little bit of work, though. The wife. That's some work.
No.
That's some work.
No.
Ron.
No.
You're 19.
Yeah.
Listen, if that ain't work, I should be able to hold this flame under your forearm for about 10 minutes until you smell your own flesh burning.
It's not work.
All right. Ron?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 19, and I masturbate a lot, about 2 times a day. And, like, lately I've been getting these, like, sharp pains in my genital area. And I want to know if that could be a result of masturbation, and if so, are there any, like, long-term effects of it?
Is it just after you masturbate that you get the pain?
No, it'll be, like, just like any time. It'll have nothing to do with it. It'll be, like, days later.
Where's the pain?
In my penis.
In the penis itself?
Yeah. It feels like a needle or something.
Like when you pee?
No, it's just like, it's like when I'm standing there, just not doing anything.
Well, I
like
don't
a shooting pain.
I'm not clear what that is, but why don't you lay off for a couple days, see if it settles down. I don't know of any long-term effects from what you're describing, but I'm not sure.
I would double up and see if you can't just push it right out the urethra.
What?
I don't know. Ron, listen, if you're whacking off twice a day, and then you're having pain in your genital region, see if you can take a couple days off.
Yeah.
You understand, though, this breaks my heart when a guy says he's masturbating twice a day and he calls that excessive.
Breaks your heart.
When he's 19.
But you're disappointed.
Well, I just mean, makes me feel like I got a problem, you know. Ron?
Yeah.
Twice a day, huh? Sometimes 3 times?
Maybe.
Yeah. More oftentimes 3 times than once a day, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I know the soul of a jerker. All right, well, if you're getting those pains, back off.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, though. To me, the penis is like one of those unbreakable combs. Do whatever you want to it. Nothing happens. Throw it off Niagara Falls, it's fine. Well, I mean, just through masturbation. You know what I mean? You're really getting rough with yourself. All right. All right, let's, this candle's making me nauseous, Drew. Let me just sell another call, and then we'll, go to break. What do you like there, Drew? Yeah? Okay. Nancy?
Yeah?
You 16?
Yeah.
Broke up with boyfriend. He won't accept her explanation. What can she do?
Well, I've been going out with my boyfriend for like a year and a half. And I just told him, like, well, maybe, like, we should, like, break up, right? I mean, I don't really want to be with him anymore.
Right.
And he's like, well, why, you know? And I'm like, well, because, I mean, you have a job now. And
there is no why.
You want to break up, that's why.
That's why.
Yeah, and he's like, well...
My feelings have changed. There's no explanation.
Yeah, I told him...
Don't waste any energy, just get away.
Yeah, but he won't leave me.
Well, he's going to have to.
He would like call me back, and he will say, no, don't break up with me, don't break up with me. Like, keep on bugging me, you know.
Oh, it's so painful.
Yeah.
Oh, so painful. Thank God I'm, like, leathery now. And nothing affects me anymore.
It's not the soft core that's becoming softer, I think. It's not the outside becoming harder.
All right. Drew, what the hell kind of call was that to go into break with?
Let's just go to break.
All right. Well, we really run the gamut there, Drew. I'm lighting farce now. This is huge.
And talking about child rearing. Hey, you gotta go to break.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that. We'll be back. Break. Well, just 10 seconds, right.
It's almost surreal. Discussing child rearing while you let your farts. That's what we were doing.
Yeah, it must have got us on adolescent behavior. It must have been me lighting the farts. Let me explain something about lighting the farts to everybody. First off, I'm a little nervous about doing it because I have a no khaki, no cotton policy when it comes to lighting farts. I normally just use denim or canvas, although I rarely wear canvas pants, so it's kind of moot. But I don't light my farts unless I'm wearing jeans because I'm scared that a fabric that's too light is going to creep back in me. Blow my innards out. True, your doctor, you've seen it, I'm sure. But tonight, it's especially dicey because I'm not wearing any underpants.
Well, you produce some substantial
flameage. Yeah. And also, I got a decent amount of hair down there. It's a tinder box. It could go right
Did
up.
that burn what you just did?
You don't create that kind of flame without feeling warmth, Drew. Drew, how big was that flame ball? Hiroshima or Nagasaki?
Literally
the size of a basketball.
Basketball, yeah, easily.
Yeah, blue and kind of orangey. Great. Mike gave me his lighter. So, and here's the thing too. If you're gonna light your farts, you got to shut the light, because that way you can really see it. It's like trying to see Halley's Comet at 4 in the afternoon. It's no big deal.
Right.
It's got to be at night.
Right.
You don't see that fireball unless it's dark.
Well, you see it now.
Let me tell you the thing that's funny about lighting the farts, too, because I've done this many, many a time in front of many a person. And I have no shame about it. It's a talent like anything else. I think people are mostly envious. Funny thing is, I had my old girlfriend, when I was doing it, actually stood up on the sofa and held the pillow in front of her as if she was going to be injured somehow. It's funny. It's funny the positions that people take, especially women. They get out of the way. They think someone's going to fly out and kill them. But the thing that's funny is you tell people I'm going to light a fart, and everyone protests. Oh, come on, grow up. Oh, please, please. And then you light it, and they go, ooh, that's a good one. And by the third or fourth one, when you yell, get the light, people are tripping over each other, running for the light switch and actually diving. Like they're,
and then pushing each other out of the way for position.
Right.
Position.
I tell you, I did this in a Winnebago all the way to Vegas, every 5 miles. And
you'll do anything to entertain a crowd.
It was spectacular.
We were talking about cerebral palsy and that woman we saw on Friday night. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Drew and I were we're in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I think we were in, Green Bay at that point. Were we at Whitewater? Whitewater.
Yeah, Whitewater.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we're in Wisconsin. Like anyone cares where in Wisconsin we are. We did one of these lecturing gigs, and after the gig, we sat at this table and signed some people's programs, little autograph thing. And people line up. They're nice. We come by. Anyway, a guy who had some sort of physical abnormality.
Osteogenesis imperfecta, I think it was.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, he was using the crutches that they have to yank out for your arms because they're sort of snap-on your forearm, those kind of crutches. And he was with a woman who was confined to a wheelchair who had the most beautiful golden lab, or blonde lab. A beautiful dog. And I guess it's one of those dogs that does stuff. It like gets the mail, shuts lights off. They train these dogs. They'll pour you a cup of coffee. Huh. And they really did. They get them to do all these little tasks. And God bless the dogs. The dog was carrying its own leash, which was real cute. It had the end of its leash in its mouth. And it was, I guess, trained to sort of carry it around so it wouldn't drag and the wheelchair wouldn't run on it. But this woman had
cerebral palsy,
and she was beautiful. She looked like Kate Jackson.
Yeah.
She was a spectacular-looking woman, but she was, horribly affected. I mean, she couldn't really speak. She looked, sort of deformed a little bit. I mean, she was definitely confined to a wheelchair. But it was weird to see somebody with cerebral palsy, or what we used to call cerebral palsy, jackass, who she was spectacular, stunning looking.
And both of us reacted the same way.
Yeah, because she's good looking, it's a shame. People are so sad that way, but Drew and I both looked at her, and then we looked at each other, and we went, oh, now that's a real shame.
We didn't do that.
We didn't. No, but let's be honest. I mean, that's the way.
But we both had
It's more of a tragedy. She could have modeled.
It struck us though. It just for some reason we reacted to it. But
listen, I ain't proud of it, but let's face it. Most of the people that you see with these horrible afflictions are unattractive people. Whether the affliction made them that way or they were that way to begin with, I don't know what it is. But how many, you've not seen a bunch of spokesmodels who have cerebral palsy. This woman was a stunning-looking woman that had this horrible affliction, and for some reason, that made it worse or more tragic. I
didn't experience it as tragic, but it was more...
it was certainly more unusual.
Yeah, intriguing or something. It was something you wanted to...
I want to straighten her out and fix her. Okay. I could wheel her away from all of this. She couldn't talk. I mean, she was... she couldn't speak. She was a mess.
She couldn't give me her name, remember?
Yeah, she it's really weird, too. She rolled up to the table, and Drew said, "What's your name?" Because he's going to, sign it into the program. And you don't, it's weird because you can't understand it, but you got to write it, and there's a big, long line behind her, and, oh, boy. Beautiful dog, too, though. Well, anyway, there she was. She had her dog. She had her wheelchair. She came with her friend. She went to the show.
She wasn't unhappy. I mean, she was fine.
I guess she was able to watch the show, too. Shelley.
Surprised you didn't take off after her right during the middle of the show.
Yeah, could have caught her.
No, I mean, abusively. I mean, when people are signing at our shows, you take off after the hard of hearing.
Well, it's not the hard of hearing. It's just the signing. I'm sitting there talking about the penis and Bahamian and stuff, and all these colleges have a woman signing. She has to sign, Bahamian and penis and jackhole and things, I don't know. The penis. I don't know how the hell they do. Especially some of this stuff's just gibberish. All right,
Shelley, what's going on?
Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew. This is the first time I call. I really love your show, and I think Adam is really cute.
Really?
Yeah.
Chalk one up for the Ace Man. You'd really be into me if you saw what I was doing over here.
With the lighter?
Okay.
All right, Shelley, what's going on?
I started this job about 2 months ago, and I'm really attracted to this guy, but he's engaged. I don't have a chance to talk to him that much, but I know he's a womanizer, and whenever I see him in the company, he does check me out. And my question is, I have this fantasy of seducing him or even having an affair with him, and that bothers me.
Why do you want to do that?
I don't know. That's why I want to know.
Do you fantasize that you're going to take him away from this?
Well, I've never seen that woman before.
But in the fantasy, do you believe you'll take him away from her, whoever she is?
I'm not sure. But I just have that fantasy.
Of course, he's checking you out. Guys that screw around and womanize check out everything.
Well,
that's what they do.
But why would you be attracted to a jerk? Is really the question here.
Well, he doesn't seem like he's a jerk.
Doesn't matter what you...
He around a lot, and I just really...
Shelley, you've described him as a jerk.
Listen, Ted Bundy was a very smart, articulate, attractive, educated man.
Yes.
Well,
but we put him to death, by the way, because he killed a bunch of people. And that's how we judge people, sort of by their actions, not by what they seem like.
I mean, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't touch girls. He talks nicely, and he holds a high position in the company.
I thought he was fooling around on his wife.
You said he's a womanizer.
Yeah, but
that's what he is. Wait a minute. He's a womanizer.
Well, look, is he a womanizer or not?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. How do you know he's a womanizer?
That's what I have heard.
Okay, and he's screwing around on his wife.
I don't know about that, but...
Well, how do you get to be a womanizer and not screw around on your wife if you're married?
He's engaged.
Engaged.
Or on your fiancé.
Right? He's a cheater.
Well, when I said womanizer, I meant that he likes to, be with other girls in the company a lot, and other girls like to talk to him too.
All right. Listen, Shelley, where were you when I was horny and drunk and single? I could have gotten you like in a half an afternoon.
Describe her dad. Shelley's.
Jackass.
No.
What?
Controlling, rigid.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he was around.
But just not available emotionally, certainly. But like a really, just iron.
What'd your dad do to you, Shelley?
He left me when I was 10, but he didn't do anything.
Right.
My parents, they're still talking to each other, and yeah.
So you got to seek out an emotionally unavailable. Your quest now is to seek out a man that's going to leave you just like that, or be completely emotionally unavailable, and you've now found one.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the route to happiness for you.
Yeah,
you understand that?
I didn't go with any guy for about
Shelley?
Good. Hold on. Drew, you got to get the light. Another fart coming up. I know Shelley's important, but we got to prioritize. Mike, can you see us? Whoa! I think that was I don't know if that was like that was Hiroshima.
I've never seen Mike laugh so hard. Ever.
I've been busting my ass telling jokes on this radio for 3 years. Mike barely cracks a smile, but all I got to do is put his lighter at my ass. That was a good one, Drew. That may have been the best one.
No, the first one's still much bigger.
Bigger in volume, but that one had more length to it.
Yeah, more upward.
It's really hard to chart the pattern of the gas. Why some comes out in a big ball of flame and others come out...
It looked kind of like a 4th of July flower.
Yeah. It was, and you know, every... all flowers are in bloom in my ass in all seasons.
Indeed they are.
All right, Shelley, listen. I don't know. The guy's engaged. Just go find somebody who's available, please.
She doesn't want to hear whatever you have to say.
I know.
She's not listening.
And listen, you know, we cut our last call before we went to break off a little bit. I felt bad. Nice young girl. She broke up with her boyfriend. Listen, all you people that break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you don't really need an excuse. The excuse is you're breaking up.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
There's no explanation. I need to go.
It's not like other parts of life. It's not like dropping out of school. It's not like firing somebody. You know, when you fire somebody or you get fired, you get an explanation.
Yeah.
You're showing up late, your habits, you're drunk, you light your farts. What other job can you light your farts on?
You could work like
graveyard.
You
somewhere.
could do sound for television shows.
Nah, there's other people who'd be offended. That's the one beauty of radio. You light your gas, and actually you can get paid while you blow flame. But the point is you don't need an explanation. When you want to break up with somebody, you're breaking up with them.
Yep.
That's all right. You're young. That's how it works.
Well, I would think a marriage, that sort of thing. You need somebody needs to examine what
you got 10 years under your belt, and there's a bunch of history
with
your kids or something.
Your teenager breaking up, you've changed. That's
right.
it. That's fine.
Dwayne?
Yes.
What's going on?
Hi. First of all, I'd just like to say you guys do a great job.
Thanks.
And I listen to you guys mostly to get insight on raising my own children. And get a lot of that down here. I was curious, you guys have mentioned addictive genes before.
Yeah.
Is that an actual gene that is passed on?
Yeah, it's about a 50% probability of passing that gene, whether one or both parents have the disease.
Yes. Okay, yes, because both me and my wife come from alcoholic and abusive families.
Are you an alcoholic?
That depends on, I guess, on the definition. I do not drink anymore. Actually, I drink wine every once in a while.
Is your wife an alcoholic?
No, she's more, she was addicted to marijuana, I believe, but ever since we started having children, she doesn't touch it.
How often was she doing marijuana?
Pardon?
How often was she doing it?
Well, there was times every night.
Neither one of them sound like...
Yeah, I know, I'm not getting the addict feeling.
No, because first off, they're being straightforward with you, which is how you know they're not addicts.
Right, denial is part
addicts
of being
always dance around.
Alcohol?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you want to call it. I mean,
denial is a feature of addiction.
Drew's got to squeeze these addicts like lemons to get a drop of truth out of them.
Yeah, and if you don't have the gene, if neither of you have the disease, then you can't pass it along.
You can't skip someone?
You can skip. You can have the gene and not express the disease, but both of them use substances and don't sound like they've got any momentum going.
All right, but the kiddies can't pick up grandpa's...
Not unless one of them has it.
Really?
Oh,
that's nice.
Again, you can have it. You can have the gene and not express the disease, but I wouldn't... That's usually in situations where people just are freaked out by substances after having seen their parents totally ruined by a drug.
Yeah.
And they don't touch anything. But that's not you guys. You guys have a relationship with drugs and alcohol, and it's not having momentum. I would certainly be careful. There's still a possibility that one of you has some genetic element there. But
the driving force is our children to keep us away from that.
Well, I understand. But if you're really an addict, it doesn't matter. We keep progressing.
How many kids do you have?
2 right now.
You want more?
Oh, yeah.
You want one, Drew?
2 girls working for some boys now.
Great.
You have 6 more girls for you get one guy, and then he'll go gay.
4 is the limit. My wife has limited us to 4. I'd like to have about 12. Though.
Oh,
that's great.
You love me, right, Adam?
What do you do for a living?
I'm a printer. I'm actually at work right now.
And
that night crew is another one where you can light your farts, Adam.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I got to get in the printing trade.
Yeah, I show them my penile piercings here all the time, and they love it.
Dwayne.
Uh-oh.
Well, he was abused. He said it.
Okay.
Abusive alcoholic family.
All right. You mentioned how do they do that, Adam? They put like a little straw down the urethra.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, the straw.
We forgot about that. Yeah, yeah.
Needle right through the bottom of the head.
No, you're right. We forgot about that.
And it's actually quite painless.
We saw a guy jump pretty good.
Yeah, so they take a straw, they put it down your pepe hole.
Yep.
What kind of straw?
It's smaller than like a drinking straw, more like probably between a drinking and a mixing.
It's kind of like one of those swizzle straws.
Yeah.
You can suck your drink out of it, but your eyes will pop out.
They actually put a little lubricant, like a topical anesthetic, on it too.
They slide that down your urethra, and then what do they do?
Then they slide a needle down there, depending on what gauge of jewelry you want in. It depends on the gauge of needle. Usually, I'd say anywhere between a 22 and a 12 gauge needle. And they poke that through and stick the jewelry in the end and pull it all back out.
Now you're piecing down, huh?
All right, and get the light. What'd you do?
Oh, Adam, Jesus! Thank God.
Hands on her feet. Well, now don't put too much pressure on me because
Here goes.
Oh, now that one hurt. Goddamn lighter burnt my ass. I'm going to sue you, Mike.
He really jumped.
Well, because Mike's got one of these crack addict lighters. It shoots the back. The thing looks like the back of the Batmobile, and I think I pointed it, and it. All right.
He really jumped. Oh boy.
All right, I got some good ones going. Hold on. Let me really focus now. I got a little cocky because of my early success.
Yes, you need to save up a little bit, too. Get a little more volume going there, okay?
All right, I'll see what I can do. Ken.
Yes.
You're 27.
Yes.
What's going on?
I wanted to talk to Dr. Drew. Actually, part of the show earlier tonight sparked me to call, and you were talking about doctors in recovery. Well, I'm a person who's been in recovery for close to 4 years.
Great. From what drug?
I'm a pre-med student.
What drug?
I really never touched drugs too much. It was mostly alcohol.
Okay.
I experimented with a few drugs, trying pot a few times.
All right. So what's your question?
How much of that is a real dirty secret for a pre-med student?
I don't know. They will ask you questions about that when you apply for medical school, I am sure, but I don't know how much it affects the application process, frankly.
And I don't know what I can't believe they'll hold booze against you like they would hold drugs.
Not just booze. You're a recovering person. I mean, you're a person who really they would be wanting to support. I mean, the person that they're trying to screen out is somebody who is in their disease and not embracing growth and development and recovery. So I would think somebody like you would almost be an advantageous position to coming in.
Really? Okay.
And I would think you'd still want to be. You'd have to be involved in some sort of diversion program because the stress of being a physician and the accessibility of substances and the extraordinary emotional experience of this all is sort of sets your disease reeling. It makes it very difficult to prioritize your recovery when no one will let you prioritize anything except your patient care 24 hours a day.
They don't grind the students as bad as they used to, I heard.
Yeah, but they don't, I know, but it's still pretty rough.
Oh, I at work I see the residents all the time that are just really stressed.
Go right ahead, but keep your recovery intact. Be very careful.
No, it's definitely a priority.
Good.
In my life.
What are you applying for med schools?
No, actually, I've got a few years left of undergraduate work to go.
You're not at junior college, right?
No, actually, I'm not in college this semester at all. I moved to a new state and can't afford to pay out-of-state tuition right now.
Yeah. All right. I would like to discourage all our listeners against any kind of formal education right now. As you can see, I'm making quite a comfortable living, lighting my farts and talking about being in plastic shop, junior high.
And don't forget your masturbatory habits.
Yeah, look at me. Thank God I wasn't wasting time studying. I prioritize, that's all.
I told somebody today about your reaction to my talking about college being an academic experience.
Well, hold on.
No, save it up.
No, I swear, I'll lose it. Get the light. Get the light.
You care? Anne's very interested in this.
You guys up? Here we go. Oh! Oh, that one made a pop. Oh, yeah. Look Let me tell you something about Mike's crack lighter. It's like a cutting torch, and the problem is it's one of these kinds that fire the flame out, like for lighting it's really like a little acetylene torch or something. Oh, Drew, don't start spraying that around when you light. Oh, please.
Right.
When you light it, it burns it up. It doesn't smell like anything.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're just responding. That's a psychosomatic thing. You understand?
I see. Mm-hmm.
That was a placebo fart I just let go. Here now. So anyway, Mike's lighter comes out like a torch, and if you point it the wrong way, it'll just go right through your pants. So it's very dangerous what I'm doing. Very dangerous, and I do it for you. I do it for the listeners. All right, and for Ann. All right, okay. Let's take a break. I got to dip my ass in a bucket of water. We'll be back. Hey, the Loveline. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, special guest tonight, my ass. Doing more talking than a lot of our guests do. All right. So we'll keep moving on here, Drew?
Let's go to this one.
All right. Robert.
Yeah.
You're 20.
I am.
What's going on?
Well, I don't know who this question is best suited for, Drew or you, but about 2 years ago, I started dating a girl. Moved away after about a year. We kind of broke the relationship into a friendly relationship. And
what's going on in the background there, Robert?
Oh, I got a roommate who's trying to kill himself or something. No, he's not, but I don't know what he's doing.
Have him turn that stuff down, will you? There you go.
All right. So, anyway.
Robert?
This girl I found out
Robert?
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to be punished.
All right, I got to punish you for a second, Robert. Don't call this show with the TV or the radio blaring in the background. Here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you how loud your TV, stereo, whatever, in the background can be playing, but if I can hear it, that's trouble. Because I always get distracted, and we always end up talking about it, and I can't stand that. So, Robert, just hang on for another couple of minutes. You haven't been on hold long enough anyway. True? Yeah. Georgette?
Hi.
Hey, 24.
Hey. How's it going?
Good.
Okay, my question is, I've been on Depo-Provera for like the last 6 months, and I noticed that ever since, after I started with the shots.
Hold on, Drew, you break wind now? You bastard! Oh, for Christ's sake! God damn it. You son of a bitch. I was sitting here thinking, hey, not bad. Hey, is that me? Must be something left over. And then I went, no, for Christ, that's not my ass. Oh, Drew. Drew, would you light it? Jesus Christ. Drew farted and I thought I was smelling my own. Come on, man. Grow up. All right, sorry, Georgia.
Okay. Well, speaking of farts,
yeah,
I've been a little flatulent.
Hold on, I got to clean myself out. All right. You've been a little flatulent ever since you got on the Depo-Provera?
Right, and I'm wondering if that's like one of the side effects. Because they gave me a little pamphlet and it didn't say anything about that, and I'm thinking of just not taking it anymore.
Well, what am I supposed to say about that?
I don't know.
What do you eat?
What do I eat?
Did it make any difference?
A little bit of everything.
You didn't have any problems before the Depo?
No, exactly. I didn't have this problem before.
The Depo shot.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it did. Drew, I never heard of that. Drew can't talk right now.
Oh, okay.
He's in his own stew over there.
We're all adults here.
Hey, yeah. All right, Drew, why don't you write down what the answer is, and I'll deliver it to Georgette. All right, Drew, just tap your foot once for yes and twice for no. This stuff can't make you gassy, can it? Tap your foot, would you? Twice? That's no?
Of course, any medication can do stuff like this.
Drew's got the giggles. Hey, Georgette?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe it is. So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm very embarrassed by it.
Oh, yeah, it's humiliating.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to have to change what I use, but I don't want to use the pill because it's kind of too strong for me, and I get yeast infections all the time, so
Well, it's one or the other. I mean, and there's certainly multiple different doses and types of pills you can try.
Yeah, maybe the ones that they prescribed were too strong or something.
Yeah, I mean, Depo-Provera, though, you're stuck for 3 months, right?
Right.
So.
Okay.
And plus, as a chick, you get the shot, you get some big husky guy on top of you, he's going away. You can fart at any moment. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like, if I'm gassy, I can't even drive over a speed bump in my car without something going off. I could only imagine, legs akimbo, you're on your back, you got some big sweaty guy on top of you, he's pounding away. Of course something would come out. That's humiliating. Hey, Drew?
What if we deteriorated into
You know how you use the phone, all the time? Go use the phone next time you got a fart like that. And don't just squeak them out, so I'm smelling them and enjoying them and thinking it was some residual effect of my work. All right, Robert?
Yeah. All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. About 2 years ago, started dating a girl. About a year ago, we broke it off because I had to move to Japan. And we stayed in touch friendly, and I found out that she was bipolar. And it didn't seem, like it was too big of a conflict between our friendship. Well, I found out about 6 months ago that she was pregnant. And she's 18 now. And the guy she's pregnant by is in jail for molesting his 6-year-old nephew.
That's nice. And you were with her before she was 18?
Yeah.
That's nice, too.
Oh, it was before I was 18 as well.
All right. I see.
Okay. So,
by the way, it doesn't make any difference in most states. But
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's my question. Is now that the father, I guess, is in jail, she's really trying to get in touch with me as far as she wants me to be the father figure for her child, wants us to get married, and I've tried to break it off twice with her. Not break it off, but tell her that that's not what I wanted. And twice she's tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And
Is she taking her medication for her bipolarity?
I don't know if she's seeking treatment for it anymore.
And she's pregnant now?
She is pregnant now.
So.
She's like 8 months now.
Yeah. She's got to give that kid away.
So she's set on keeping this child. And,
why? Why does she get to keep the child?
I don't think it's
right. What kind of society are we living in? You can't ride a goddamn motorcycle without putting a helmet on. They pull you over. You get a ticket.
Yeah, but
you can't drive a car without wearing a seatbelt. You can't do anything. How can this crazy, effed up, bipolar product of abuse, practically teenage mom be in charge of another human being and in your life? That it's life.
It is.
You wouldn't let her watch a couple of kids at preschool for 4 hours a day.
You nailed it, Adam. She's got a really abusive past between mother and father.
Of course. Her parents shouldn't have been allowed to have her. It's really the deal. All she turned out to be is a punching bag.
I don't doubt it.
And and now she's just going on autopilot.
Right, so
she's got a nice kid she can beat up on.
You
now.
Can't get yourself too involved with that.
Don't worry.
Here's my question. This is twice that she's tried to commit suicide and had to go to the hospital to fix it. But how do I just cut off contact altogether, or that seems like it would be more harsh? Is there any way that I can tell her or talk to her?
Oh, boy. I think you got to be there, try to be there for her and see what you can do to help her, but you can't get involved with her that way. Plus, she probably won't want you. She'll probably, listen, if you guys get hooked up, she'd cheat on you in about 6 months.
The last thing I want is for us to be hooked up.
Don't do it.
Then good. Then you're clear on that.
But what I want to know is how do I keep it from being or how do I tell her that, again, in a way that won't drive her to attempt suicide again? But it's not like she's really attempting suicide because the first thing she does is get somebody to drive her to the hospital. So it's just an attention thing.
Listen, you tell her to listen to the show. Tell her...
If she listens, I'm sure she's listening right now.
All right. What's her name?
Her name's Stacy.
Stacy, stop acting out. I know you can barely help it, but contain yourself. You have a kid. You're going to be a mother in a month. Don't hook up with any guy. If you're attracted to a guy, don't get hooked up with him. Sorry, Robert, not you. And believe me, she'd go through you quickly because you sound like you're pretty sane. You got your feet on the ground. Robert, you be her friend. I mean, that's what she needs. She doesn't need daddy right now.
That's right.
She just needs...
but even Robert doesn't have great boundaries. He's going to have trouble not getting sucked in.
But he's getting a little saner.
And it may mean leaving this situation. I mean, she will find somebody else to act out upon.
Right.
The only thing you can do, if you want to make a difference, is make sure she gets to appropriate care, that she takes the prescribed medications, and sort of make that a requisite of your participation with her in a relationship.
No.
That if she does, if she goes and gets proper care and follows up properly, maybe there can be a friendship here. Otherwise, it's too crazy.
And Stacy, give the kid up for adoption, please. You're no condition. No condition.
And it's a heroic thing if she would give it up for adoption.
All right, speaking of heroics, why don't you get the light?
Here we go again.
Get the light. Now the girls are up on their feet. Whoa! That was a big one. That was good torching. Thank you. For those who have tuned in late to this evening's show, I was, about the 7th or 8th fart I've just lit? Drew gets the light, and let me tell you, the impact of turning the light off, it's just, I'd say it magnifies the experience tenfold.
Let's try one with the light on, just so we get the contrast.
It's so anticlimactic, you couldn't tell. It's like a, Bunsen burner, you can't tell it's on sometimes, you put your finger over it. You know what I'm saying, Drew?
It's important material here.
All right,
we gotta go to break.
No, let's just tease a call here for a second. And I think I'm really putting out consistently.
Yeah, you've been producing.
Now, I've been going, and I just want you to imagine what a trip to Vegas with me is like in a car. Because I've been going solid here. I mean, I've got 7 or 8 out in about the last 30 minutes. Another one. The point is it takes about 4, maybe sometimes 4.5 hours to get to Vegas. Let's do a little math here. At 16, call it 15 an hour. Yeah. No. I think we're talking about 60s easily.
No wonder you keep people so entertained.
Yeah. The funniest thing is that one time the chick in the front seat got so tired of it, she said, "I've had enough of this." And when I lit the lighter, she opened the window. It blew the lighter out right as the gas was coming out of my ass, and it filled the car up with gas, and everyone started yelling at her. How funny is it that they all turned on her? "Vanessa, what are you doing?" You know better to roll the window. I had farted so much by that time that no one bothered yelling at me, even though I had my feet on each separate headrest and I was sitting in the back seat. It was a Honda, for Christ's sake. It had 5 people in it. It was great. All right, let me just sell this call. We'll go to break. Magda.
Yes.
What's going on there?
Not much. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good. My question is, well, it's more of a problem. I fell in love with a man who was married, and he was going to divorce his wife and everything. Gave me the whole line.
They always say that.
Yeah. And just
we've never heard from one that didn't say that.
Yeah. But, the thing was, is, he showed me papers and stuff.
Well, they're not lying. They are eventually going to divorce their wife. It's just, it's going to be about 9 years, and you won't be around.
Yeah. So, towards the end of the breakup, I found out that I was pregnant by the guy.
Why? Was he not using any protection?
Well, yeah, we were, but, sometimes they just slip.
Condom?
Well, we yeah.
What about the morning after pill? You didn't?
Yeah, well, I had just got on it, and
on the pill?
Yeah, and I wasn't quite through the first pack, and that kind of just happened.
Yeah.
And he was being really rude about it, and it just
what's the question for us?
Just how am I going to be able to go through with it? Because now it's just. I'm back at school. All
right, that's good. Wait, hold on. We'll get into that. We got to go to break. Get the light there, Drew. I want to send us out. Right. I swear to God, that's 8 or 9. Thank you, Mike. All high volume, too. Thank you. All right, we'll be back. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my ass has to leave early. So doing the morning show tomorrow. All right, let's see if can you hang around for another break? Okay. All right, we'll be back with Drew and my ass and engineer Mike Slider all after this. Oh my God, Drew! You should be disbarred for that. I mean, stripped of your license. Your board certification should be burnt. Oh, was that bad? Drew, listen, part of my role on the show is to fart. That's not... Drew just let me have it with something hellacious. It hit me right when the mic heated up. Oh, babe. It's your mess over there. Oh. Listen, I may have a high volume of gas, but it's not the kind of potent gas that Drew has. It's really hell in here. God, there's fabric everywhere to absorb. I'll tell you. Oh, man. Hey, it's Loveline. It's a gas night tonight. I don't know what it is. I ate my concoction. If any of you kids are listening, want to write it down. It's the little wheat germs, some golden raisins. I had shredded wheat flakes, or grape nut flakes, but any base cereal will work. Shredded wheat, whatever, grape nuts, corn flakes, whatever it is. But you got to get the milk, and then you got to get the wheat germ and the golden raisins, and it just does it. It's that fiber. It's that fruit and fiber, Drew. All right. Drew's come in with, he's weighing in with his own gas tonight. Doing a fine job. He's really holding his own. Okay. Magna.
Yes.
We heard the problem.
It's 19, suffering fallout after being dumped. Yeah, okay. So you started dating a guy, or you didn't really date him. You just had an affair with a guy who was married.
Yeah, basically.
He said he was going to get divorced.
How long were you with him for?
3-4 months.
He never got divorced.
And then you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of dumping you a little bit?
Yeah, basically.
Well, what's your plan?
Well, I was going to keep the kid and continue with school, but I miscarried. So
good.
That, I guess, yeah, it was a good thing.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know anything, and it's just like, I'm really upset about everything still, because I'm back in the same town that he's in.
Well, what's his plan?
I really don't know. We kind of ended on bad terms.
Oh, Drew, you let something else go?
Pardon?
Drew's fart is fought off the glade and is making its way over here, yes. All right, don't go nuts with that. We're going to get cancer. So, you guys broke it off?
Yeah, well, he broke it off because he apparently was going to get the divorce, and the lawyer said that he shouldn't be seen with me. And then I found out from his best friend's wife that he was seeing another girl.
Of course.
Well, that's shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah, so I confronted him about it, and I asked him, and he said it wasn't true. But the way he acted, it seemed like it was
He probably
true.
still isn't divorced, is he?
I really don't know.
Of course not.
I just stopped talking to him. I got off.
He's an utter loser.
Yeah.
Does he have any kids?
No, he didn't.
Good.
He said.
God, but you've got to rearrange your life entirely.
Yeah.
You've got to find a way not to be attracted to total losers, total jackholes.
Listen, ladies.
This is what you're looking for, Amanda. You've got one right there. Wasn't that lovely? They'll all be the same. It's got to stop.
Listen, however they treat you is how they treat women, because you're a woman. You understand? When they cheat on their wife and they cheat with you, soon they'll cheat with someone else if you marry them. That's just the way they are. You're just a female. That's it. Just tits with legs to these guys. Oh, sounds good. Mm-hmm. All right. Drew, no more gassing out of you, huh, bud? Ann.
Yes.
You're 31.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Hi. Last week I was diagnosed with having a high prolactin level in my pituitary gland. The reason I found that out was I hadn't had a period since last December.
Okay.
And so it's been about 9 months, and I had lost all sex drive.
Well, any thyroid problems sometimes?
No. In fact, I was tested for everything.
So it's a prolactinoma.
Yeah.
Okay, did they do an MRI?
I'm having that done this week.
Okay.
So I was wondering what they do.
Well, the vast majority of prolactin secreting...
There's something secreting out of you?
No. Microadenomas are treated medically. And they'll give you bromocriptine or some medicine to decrease the production of prolactin. It also tends to shrink the little adenoma, the little growth.
Mm-hmm.
And then things should return. Now, what's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
There are no long-term consequences. It just, if there's a large growth, sometimes they have to do surgery. And again, there are centers where they do these transphenols. Actually go into the pituitary through here. Look. They go up into the brain through here. Through above the teeth.
Really?
Yeah. Chip away here and go into the brain.
Chip away?
Yep.
What they got to chip away there?
Bone.
Oh, wait a minute. Get the light. Get the light in.
We're going to do it with the light on. See what it looks like.
All right. We'll do it with the light on. You'll see it's not impressive. Mike, I need longer cord on this so I can really move around. You got to get the light next time. Because my ass doesn't work under these conditions. My ass is not your stooge or your flunky, Drew.
All right.
When you say fart, it doesn't say how loud. You understand?
Okay.
And here, Mike, we got to get a longer mic cord on this so I can hoist my feet up over my back of my ears and still pull the mic over to me. Can we do that? Okay. Where were we?
Prolactinomas.
Yeah, so they bust out to the top of your gum there, and they put like a long thing up to your brain.
Drill into the pituitary. And there are circumstances where sometimes the pituitary doesn't work quite right, and they have to add other hormones to get things going. But the idea is to reestablish the normal hormonal.
Your pituitary glands in your head?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was. How come all the glands seem to be like around your throat or your neck?
Well, the pituitary is the master gland. It controls all the other ones.
Oh, I rented that. Yeah. The master gland. It's kind of funny. This is sort of a takeoff on master plan. Thanks, Mike. All right. Do we learn a lesson about keeping the light on?
Yes.
Okay, wise guys. You couldn't have took my word for it. Nick.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. 19. What's going on?
I have a quick question for you. My older brother moved out of the house he moved out a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was going out with a girl, and he was going out with her for about 5 months, I think.
Yeah.
And
he loved her. Now you're dating her?
No, he didn't love her.
All right. Who dumped who? Did he dump her or did she dump him?
He dumped her.
He dumped her?
Yeah.
All right. You're dating her now?
Well, yeah. We've always been kind of like.
All right. Listen, we got to power through a few calls here.
That can work out. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, he dumped her. That's all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
If she broke his heart, think about it, Drew. Think about the people you dumped.
Yeah.
Here's why you dump them. Not interested.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, if you sold your car, gave your car away, and someone else is driving it, no big deal. If your car got stolen, you came down, you cried in your pajamas, and then you saw someone else driving around, you're pissed.
No.
That's all.
Absolutely.
Just like that.
Hey, we got to go.
No, yeah. Katie.
Yeah, hi.
Tried all birth control pills, gets horribly ill. Help Drew. Hurry, Drew. All right, go, Drew.
What do you mean ill? What happens to her?
She gets ill. Go.
No, I need
she vomits and stuff. You vomit and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you tried low dose estrogen pills?
Try low dose estrogen pills. Talk to your gynecologist. Brian.
Yeah.
You're divorcing his wife, depressed. How to get over it?
That's right.
Oh boy, it's a bitch. There's really nothing you can do. Just don't fold up. You know what I mean? Don't get into drugs. Don't quit your job.
Don't hurt anybody.
Don't put on 50 pounds. Force yourself to work out. Force yourself to, study. Force yourself to go to work. Force yourself to keep moving. That's it. That's all you can do. And then 6 months blows by, and you didn't kill yourself.
And keep
you just force yourself.
Relationships, friends.
Right. Matthew. 21. Girlfriend's a tumultuous home life causes some frequent breakups. How to deal with it? All right, she had a bad childhood, and she's a little nutty. She's acting out.
Right.
Yes?
Well, yeah, see, it's her mom. Her mom picks the most ultimate losers in the entire world.
All right. We'll run out of time here.
Well, that's what she's going to look for in men.
Believe me, you got your work cut out for you, buddy. When somebody comes from a bad childhood and they got to keep acting it out and drag you into it, especially when you become the male. Forget about her friends. You know what I mean? You're her relationship. Oh, you're screwed. You got a tough road to hoe. If you really love her, you try to get her some counseling, you go in with her, and you stick with it. But if not, I'd bail. I need to borrow the lighter for the ride home. So I swear to God, I got these circles on my ass from me trying to use a cigarette lighter in the car. All right, Drew, you ready to call it a night?
Yes.
Yes, mercifully. All right, I want to thank Ann, the angular one. Sherry, who's doing the work of three over there. And
had to walk in this room.
Dooley was nice enough to lend us his crack pipe lighter. So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station.
They're probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment.
Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle. Now, please listen to this station longer.